I never imagined that a quiet afternoon of fishing would turn into one of the most intense moments of my life. The lake was calm at first, the air crisp, the sun breaking through scattered clouds. I had my old wooden boat anchored near the center, waiting for a bite, when I noticed ripples cutting against the natural flow of the waves. I leaned over the side and froze. Two piercing eyes were locked on me, closer than I could believe. A lynx, her fur heavy with water, was pushing through the waves. In her jaws, dangling and shivering, was a tiny cub. Another cub was struggling just behind, barely keeping its head above the water. My heart skipped. I whispered to myself, "Lord, what do I do?" The mother lynx pressed her paw against the side of my boat. Her claws scratched the wet wood, searching for grip. She wasn't snarling, she wasn't threatening. She was exhausted. The cub whimpered, water dripping from its fur. For a second, I thought about backing away, but my body wouldn't move. I couldn't let them drown. I grabbed one of my oars and lowered it slowly. My voice was shaky, but I spoke anyway, steady and calm, as if she could understand. "Easy there. Take this." The lynx's eyes flickered between me and the oar. Then she leaned on it, her weight rocking the boat dangerously. Water splashed up over the edge, soaking my arms. I tightened my grip, muscles burning, trying to hold steady. With the other oar, I began pushing us toward the shore. Every stroke was heavy. The boat creaked, the waves slapped hard. Behind me, the cub coughed, letting out a tiny cry. I fumbled for my phone, hands shaking, and called my buddy Colton. Colton answered with a laugh. "Wade, you catch anything big yet?" I swallowed. "Bigger than I ever expected. I've got a lynx and her cubs hanging on my boat." There was silence, then a sharp breath. "Man, call a ranger. Don't do anything stupid. I'm already moving us in," I said, gritting my teeth as the boat rocked again. "Just pray I don't flip this thing." The shoreline felt miles away. The wind picked up, pushing against us. I glanced down, seeing the mother's eyes locked on mine. They weren't angry. They were desperate. She was trusting me, at least for this moment, and that scared me more than anything. Finally, the bottom scraped. We had reached shallow water. The lynx gave one final push, lifting herself halfway onto the oar, then guiding her cub onto the reeds. She dropped him gently, then pulled herself out, trembling, soaked to the bone. The second cub paddled in and collapsed beside her. She stood over them, her chest heaving. On the bank, I saw a ranger arrive, Dana Brooks, a woman I'd met once at a community meeting. She raised a hand, signaling me to stay put. "Give them space, Wade," she called out firmly. "Don't cut their path back to the woods." I nodded, keeping the boat steady. The lynx gave me one last look before nudging her cubs into the tall grass. In seconds, they disappeared into the forest. My chest loosened for the first time in what felt like hours. Dana waded closer. "You did the right thing by not touching them. Minimal help, that's the rule. Wild animals need to stay wild." I could only nod, my throat dry. I never wanted to be a hero. I just couldn't sit there and watch them sink. A week later, I returned with Dana to place a camera trap along the shore. She showed me how to set it, explaining it would help track if the family was still healthy. That night, the camera caught them, mother lynx and her two cubs, moving strong along the bank. I stared at the images in quiet awe. I never told the story to brag. It wasn't mine to own. All I know is that on one windy afternoon, out in the middle of a cold lake, I was given a chance to act. I didn't save them. I just steadied the oar and made space for nature to do what it was meant to do. And for that, I'll always be grateful.